show is crazy on Netflix. It's got 22 episodes, and I had to watch all the episode in like one day because it's super dramatic. Like a dramatic, it's teaching us a lot of things. And The Polygamist, wow. If you haven't watched it, you need to hear this and then you can go watch it. Normally, so The Polygamist is a book actually created by the she's a Zimbabwean born from Zimbabwe called Suenyati. Suenyati, she's the owner of the book, and she turned it into a Netflix series, which is unbelievable because the best way to make a great movie is to start by the book, right? And that's what she did. So The Polygamist, like, she brings back the cultures of like the old African culture of like marrying different women and stuff like that. But the way she narrate the story, the way she tell the story, the way they wrote the story, and then acting on it, it's super unbelievable. So there are about how many characters? So there is like Jonas Gomorrah is like the main man, right? And then there is his first wife, that's Joyce Gomorrah, the second one, the second, like, I would say, supporting character. And then there is Matipa, who come as like the third. And then beside that, there was another woman that Jonas Gomorrah used to date back before he became so famous, and before he has a lot of money for his company, JJ Company. And the meaning of JJ Company is like Jonas C. Gomorrah and J. Gomorrah and Joyce Gomorrah. And there is so many things that I could start to explain about this series, but to make it short, which is not really going to be super short, it's teaching us a lot of things. Why the relationships these days, they don't work as old days. It's really not the same thing as our old people used to do before. And that's really the moral of the story. So Jonas Gomorrah has too much money. His family was broke. His parents could afford to pay him university back in the school, back in the days. And then he had this woman, Makwaba, who he used to go around and having sex and all that and things like that. But he used to like girls so much. He used to like women so much. At the moment he was there by Makwaba, so many people, so many women could come and look for him around. And sometimes he's gonna go around the corner, go kissing women, go having whatever they will have in the corner. But Makwaba was just there like appreciating him because she really loved him, right? And Jonas couldn't even afford his university fees. Makwaba had to help. And he went on, finish up university, become one of the famous founder of the company, and the company was making a lot of money. And he married somebody else instead of coming back to the person who he used to date before, and the person who really supported him when he had nothing. You see, the man pride. Man, we have so much pride. The moment somebody supports you, you think that they just support you because they don't want anything in return from you. But the moral of the story is the support, although it's not needed something in return, there is also something that you have to respect. You see? So Jonas Gomorrah continued his life. He married a wife, the first wife, and then he wanted to make that lady the second wife. And that's becoming so super challenging. By the way, he had to make it. He made the hard choice for other people, but that was not the hard choice for himself. Do you understand the thing? So I've been watching this series and I feel like there is so many story to explain, and the way men are overlooking women trying to be the polygamist. And it's like just because you have so much money, like you can go to any woman that you want and trying to make their life miserable, just trying to be there, like because your company, they rely on your company, they rely on your money and stuff like that. Marrying a second woman, a third woman, and go even to date some underage, like 16 years old, 17 years old, 19 years old. Man, that was super bad. So, by the way, to make the short super short, the story super short, and that started creating so many fuss in the relationship, and that was really bad. The first woman had no option because at work where Jonasi used to work, there came another lady called Matipa who wanted him so much because he had so much money. And then that brought so much confusion in the family. Matipa couldn't let it go. She couldn't let it go because she knew that if she hold on into that guy's money, she's gonna get out of something. But the story turned around and became something else. Matipa could not get anything. Jonasi became very bad person because she wanted to take her money and running away. By the way, they had twins, two kids, which makes it so more difficult. And when I was watching this series, I was just like, this is very bad. I really don't like the people that trying to getting rich from other people. Instead, be there building something with someone that you're going to deserve in the future. Not just come into someone's lives because they've got too much money and you think just you're gonna take it away like that and go boom. It turned out to be something else. It didn't work out for Matipa. And what she had to do, she had to surrender her kid. She had to surrender her kid to the first lady of Jonas, which is Joyce Gomorrah. And she left. She disappeared because Jonas abused her so much. Every time he wanted her, was just like wanted to use her as a sex toy because he gave her everything. He gave her the house, like a money allowance, everything. She never needed anything. But when they found out that Jonas had a third wife, so they became three, and she could become number three. That was a biggest challenge for her, and she had to run away. Yeah, she had to run away. Damn. As a man watching that series, man, I do not really understand how can a man have the spirit of abusing people's lives like that just because you are super rich, you are super powerful. I believe in leadership, like great leadership supposed to be like showing people the way, directing people, be there with people. You see, but Jonas, by the way, he come from a poverty, like poor family, so there was no so much of good mentorship in him, and that's that was the biggest challenge, a biggest challenge. You get rich instead of focusing on building your career, instead of focus building your family, your legacy. You got already a biggest company in South Africa. Focus on building your legacy, focusing on building something that is gonna bring you more legacy to your family instead of ruining your legacy into women, right? So Joyce Gomorrah was an influencer, an ambassador of some biggest beauty company somewhere like that in South Africa. And she had to go through all this. And because of that, it had to affect her reputation. People started to pull out the contract out of her because she's been acting paranoid, things like that, just because of a man. And what comes to an end, it's super dramatic. Jonas started to sugarcoat it. Kid, like a 19-year-old, killed a child like close to the same age as his own kid. Starts to paying for some holiday trips in Durban and stuff like that. give her money and stuff like that. By the way, so the first woman wanted to kill the guy because the guy was so abusive, right? Because he has too much money. And then what she did, the first thing is she gave him poison. The guy got into the hospital, very bad, hospitalized. That was the first thing that they wanted to decline him. And then the second thing, she had to call a hoe that they used to be in jail together, who was given HIV by someone else who has those kind of mentality like Jonas Gomorrah. So the lady that she met in prison, once she was locked up because of the violence that she was doing, and that lady had HIV, so they planned so she can go to Jonas Gomorrah to give him HIV, and Jonas fall for the trap. He did fall for the trap, have some affairs with a woman, and then boom, after they go to the clinic, to the hospital, some few months later, the doctor told the guy that you are HIV positive. The guy refused to be HIV positive. He never wanted to take his medication regularly. He started to piss and poo on himself. I mean, man, if you're watching this, please hit the button subscribe, hit the button like there. Let me know what do you say about this series, because it's kind of crazy, but it's teaching us a lot of stories, especially if you are young. Especially if you are a young man, it's teaching us how about to be a man. If you are a woman, plays a major role into women. You cannot just like someone because they have money, because you think they love you. Their money, it's your money. That's the biggest mistake women make. It's good to be comfortable. It's good to be financially free. It's good to get allowance from people, but it's not just good to rely 100% on those people, because once something bad is happening, it's really, really, really happening to you, and it's gonna mess up your life. Instead, take things from both sides. Do your own things. Build your career. And you can still wait for inheritance, not just like completely relying on someone's money, right? And as a man, just because you become so much rich or famous, that does not mean that you have to ruin people's lives. Look at what happened to Jonas, because they had to organize someone who has HIV to go and sleep with him so he can get HIV, because they wanted to get rid of him. They wanted to kill him, but they didn't know how to kill him. So the best way to do, let's get somebody who's HIV positive. Let's take to him. He's gonna sleep with him, because that HIV positive woman was super hot, bro. They got fell in second. He had to do it. If you haven't watched that series, please go on Netflix and tap the Polygamist. It's 22 episodes, but they're like 25 to 30 minutes episodes, so they are not really, really long. So I finished like in one day. Yeah, one day, Saturday night up to yesterday, Sunday. So I finished the series, all right? And that was super bad because they killed him. So we are waiting for season 2, because season 2 is becoming way, way, way much anticipated, just because of the way the things ended. He had how many sons? He had Mainzy, he had that lady, I don't know, the one that never used to like him. And then he had another girl that he never wanted to talking about. And then after that girl, then he had the twins, right? So how many others? That's like 5 kids, the twins, right? And his first son, the firstborn, he used to be very, very shy and weak, but as they say, like father, like son. He became super much like his father by the end of the series. And this is bringing a lot of confusion. By the way, if you like the storytelling, please like the video, share the video, go on Netflix and watch the Polygamist. It's super good, and a lot of credits goes to the lady Suenyati from Zimbabwe, man. This is why xenophobia has no place in South Africa, because look at how the lady from Zimbabwe pulls out a super beautiful show in South African Netflix. So if you want to waste those talents just because you don't like people from outside of South Africa, you are losing creativity in South Africa, because if she couldn't come to South Africa, maybe we couldn't have these polygamists today, right? But it started as a book. Now it's a biggest series on Netflix. I really love series. I really love movies, but it takes me something so that I can react to it, so that I can talk to it, right? Not everything. I'm a super big fans of movies and series and stuff like that. But for me to take my time to storytelling something like that, that means it's super educational. It's super entertaining, and people can learn a lot from that. All right? If you're watching this, brother, please hit the button like, hit the button subscribe, and share this to your story. Let me know in the comment, what do you say? Would you become a polygamist, marrying 2, 3 wives? As for me, it's a huge no, because one wife can get you mad tomorrow. One man can get you mad tomorrow. So why would you want to be with 3, 4 just because you have money? Like today you sleep here, tomorrow you sleep there, after tomorrow you sleep another place. That was super interesting. Let me know in a comment, what do you say if you can be a polygamist? And I will see you in the next video. Please hit the button, subscribe. Yeah. Ciao.
This guy, what's this guy name?